watching Alaska's news source.
Happy Friday, everybody. We made it. Another one, the 10th of March. Dave Allgood along with you. Of course, Melissa Fry, chief meteorologist, an amazing co-host. And we're going to talk about our life stories. You go first.
I think we could fill the entire hour. Yeah, we could.
Our producer, Jennifer Summers, jokingly said, why don't you guys, off the top of the show, just talk about your life stories? And then she rethought that because she knew I would talk. Yeah, but then you know.
And I don't know if that's what you really, I don't know if people would stick around.
They don't really care about what we're doing. So anyway, well, I hope you're having a great Friday. Don't forget, we're setting the clocks ahead Saturday night, so it'll go from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Yes.
And then, so you're going to lose an hour, but more daylight, which is something good for all of us.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the Hydro Bros. And if you haven't heard about them, you haven't been on the Nextdoor app. There are two teenagers that are very popular right now on the Alaskan version of Nextdoor app, and they've been cleaning out the fire hydrants from underneath the snow.
A really important job.
Yeah, very important job. And I got to meet these guys, and they're quite the characters, and they're doing some good community service. So we'll talk about that coming up in the Allgood News.
Looking forward to getting introduced to them. Also, I'll show you our latest weather lab. This last week, we were at Airport Heights Elementary School, and we were there for a very special birthday. These were first graders, and at first they're like, whose birthday is it? Oh, and one kid told me, oh, it's his brother's birthday. But no, someone even special, more special than...
Santa Claus?
Well, maybe more special than Santa Claus. Yeah, we'll tell you all about it in the weather lab today.
All right, well, cool. Well, again, we're glad you're with us. But now it's time to get to the weather. And this is kind of fun. You got a cool shot here. It looks like Godzilla is shaking our camera out there.
Take a look at this. So this is right on our roof here in Midtown, right off of near 36th and Old Seward, looking back toward the Chugach Mountains. And I swung the camera around every direction to see if we could get it to...
Here are your top 4 headlines at 4. The bodies of 2 men were found at Russian Jack Park. Anchorage police say they were found yesterday afternoon off Lydia Skelreg Lane. The crime scene team responded. Well, Suki Waterhouse talks about learning to play the piano for their most recent role. She started as a model in her early teens and picked up acting, but got pushback when she tried to convince record labels she was a musician as well. Happy Friday, everybody. She was a successful model and actress, but she wanted more and to be taken seriously. One of the stars of Amazon's Prime Video series, Daisy Jones and the Six, Suki Waterhouse talks to Anthony Mason about her music career.
We're watching Alaska's weather source.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. You know, Melissa, we used to have a weather guy named Larry Sprinkle. Larry Sprinkle in Charlotte, I think his name was. I don't think that was his real name, though.
Probably not, no.
And like Wendy. Wendy would be another one, right?
You know, my middle name is Dawn, and I always thought, I wonder if I should have gone by Melissa Dawn. It seems kind of like a weathery name that I was given at birth.
For sure,
Take a look at our wind drop as we head into the weekend and into early next week, Dave.
See, I would, since we can make this up, I'd add a little 7 there. 70.
Oh, just before it? Well, I mean, why not, right?
70,
Make it whatever we want to be.
It's, you know, we work with computers. We live and die.
We do.
All right, thanks, Melissa. All right, the Cat in the Hat tells us the weather. Well, kinda. Melissa does a weather lab at Airport Heights Elementary on Dr. Seuss Day. We'll have that for you coming up. Hi, everybody. Hey, Melissa.
Hey there.
Hey, let's talk about Weather Lab, right? In this week's Weather Lab, Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry visited Airport Heights Elementary School right here in Anchorage.
Can anyone raise their hand and tell me what is AlaskasNewsSource.com and on our streaming platforms?
Yeah, I mean, if you have Amazon Fire, Roku, or Apple TV, all of those guys, just add the Alaska's News Source channel to your screen by searching, get this, it's a hard one, Alaska.
Alaska will get you right there.
Yeah, sounds good. You have fun out there?
Oh, I love being with those students. Yeah, they supply me with energy, and it's just so fun to see them get excited about science and scientists. I'm
jealous of you now. You got an audience. You got an audience. All right. All right. A prestigious university adds a new course. The pop composer whose music is... All right, Iditarod update time. Let's put those together. All right, Brent Sass is leading the Iditarod. Brent Sass. He was the first into Grayling this morning. He only stayed about 10 minutes, but decided to rest about 9 miles further down the trail. This is video of his team right there taking a break on the Yukon River. Jesse Holmes is the only other musher that's left Grayling. And while Sass is in first place, Jesse Holmes got a big award this morning for being first into Anvik.
We roast veal bones, and we add onions and carrots and celery, make a good veal stock, cook it for a couple of days, and then...
Yeah, that makes sense because the first musher to the Yukon Award comes with a 5-course gourmet meal prepared at the checkpoint, which is really cool, where he and his dogs took their 8-hour break. Holmes was treated to things like lobster bisque, king crab salad, filet mignon, and the infamous Marx Brothers Cafe cheesecake.
It's as good as it sounds and it looks. I'm getting my cheesecake from the wrong place. Costco.
It's not that bad, but it's not that good either, probably. Okay, so far, only one musher has scratched. It was rookie Jennifer Labar after she crashed going down a steep slope Monday. She badly injured her hand. Today, she posted an update on the Rocking Bridge Kennel Facebook page saying she and the dogs have made it home. She says she is incredibly bummed for the way things turned out. It wasn't a simple dislocation as she had hoped and prayed for, and when she got to Anchorage, she found out it was a complicated break. Yep, she went on to say that if it had been a simple break, something she could have taped up and continued on with, she probably would have. But she says, in my harsh, unwanted reality, I couldn't fully grip my dog sled with my left hand, which left me not to be able to drive my team safely. Labar says scratching was the toughest decision she has had to make. And let's take a look at the official standings, if you will. Let's take a look at the graphic there. Brent Sass is in first. He was the first to leave Grayling this morning. Jesse Holmes is currently holding second. Though the official standings haven't been updated, the GPS shows the rest of the top 10 is resting in Grayling. And to keep it right here to alaskasnewssource.com. We've got live blog that's updated as the latest details come in. So you don't want to miss it. Just head on over there, check it out, and you can watch us at the same time. And you can watch Melissa because she's in the Weather Center right now with our statewide forecast. Hey, Melissa.
Dave, yeah, as these mushers begin that trip up to the north, I should say, now along the Yukon, they are running into is 11 degrees. That shows you the potential of how cold it will likely get overnight. As soon as those winds stop and the sun sets, temperatures will begin to drop. It probably won't happen until early tomorrow morning when the wind finally tapers off, but then temperatures will drop all the way to the dew point, again, close to 11 degrees.
And there's something like the dew point, you know, from the guy from the south would be Mountain Dew time. Whoop, whoop. Can do it up. Can do it. And the other thing, when you see that camera shaking, it's like, I feel like I'm on the old Star Trek, like, whack.
Yeah, you gotta hold on.
Gotta hold on. Anyway, thanks, Melissa. All right, a bold move on the ice captures one young woman's heart. Marielle Mose shows us a unique form of proposal on a stick. I'm Dave Allgood with Alaska's News Source. Coming up on the Allgood News, we're going to meet
the Hydro Bros.
And why do they call you guys the Hydro Bros?
We're the bros that remove snow from the hydros.
Coming up.
Play Iditarod.
It's one of those things that you don't think about until it happens to you. When a snow hydrant, I should say, when a snow-buried fire hydrant is not able to get to. For fire hydrants, they have to dig it out because it's covered in snow.
There's a lot going on. Yes, I'm sorry, yes. And as you know, in a fire emergency, seconds can mean the difference between life and death. Enter the Hydro Bros, 2 teens on a mission to free your fire hydrant.
At first, we were just thinking of it as, hey, you know, this isn't something that anybody does.
It's a movement, too. It's not just some service that we're doing.
With a lot of the negativity that's been going on, it's good seeing some positivity.
The question has to be, why?
That's a great question. We ask ourselves the same question.
It just wasn't done, and hasn't been done for years. And
because if you're all about community...
Because that's not just your house that's on the line, that's your entire neighborhood.
This might just be something that would spark your interest.
We're able to save maybe a pet or maybe a family member. When we really sat down and talked together, like, we can make this happen.
And what these 2 teens made happen, well, John appreciates it.
I was impressed that someone was actually out clearing the hydrants. I mean, it's an important part of the community safety.
Meet.
I'm Aiden McKinnon.
And I'm Kendon Ivy, and we are
the Hydro Bros.
That's right. These 2 young entrepreneurs digging out the snowbound fire hydrant are called...
the Hydro Bros.
Jonathan Steele loved the name and what these 2 were doing.
It's special that these kids recognize that and are willing to undertake that.
Oh, and the idea of digging out the hydrants started simply enough.
The idea had started with my father a week before the fire had happened. He had told me and my friend here that he would, throw us a little money just to clear out the hydrant one day.
But Kendon and Aiden knew they had tapped into something bigger.
So we got to thinking, this could be a real impact on the city. Not only the city, but other cities as well, because Alaska's not the only place with snow.
So it's off to their small car, pop the trunk and take out the tools of the trade, and get to digging. Oh, and sure, they wouldn't mind making a little cash, but Aiden and Kendon say they're all about
making a difference. Making an impact is what we strive for, not just making some money.
Well, their community work here is done.
Absolutely. Helping people always makes you feel good.
And safe, knowing firefighters can get to this fast. And so can Wallace, because even this cool corgi canine knows
Realizing the importance of access to a hydrant.
it's all about access, access, access. The Hydro Bros, they are
We make the magic happen.
No, one hydro at a time.
the Allgood News. Oh, like Kendon and, are they cool guys?
So cool. I love them.
They're very hip, yep. Like Kendon said, there was a fire in his neighborhood here in Anchorage where firefighters had to dig out a hydrant. Took him a little time, and he saw a need, and the Hydro Bros were born there.
I love it, and it is an important need. The Anchorage Fire Department really likes when what the Hydro Bros are doing, and they say technically it's not the homeowner's responsibility to shove out hydrants, but they do appreciate it, and having a clear path to that hydrant in the case of an emergency, those seconds matter. That could really be critical. And I just have to give a quick shout out to my neighbor Skip. He has a hydrant on our block, and he is diligent about keeping that clear, and I'm just thankful.
Yeah. And
We need it, it's there.
yeah, thanks to the Hydro Bros as well. You can find them on Facebook, Hydro Bros. All right, here's James Brown with what's coming up and getting down on CBS 5.
Might squeeze out a snowflake or two, but that's it for another week.
Squeeze it out. You can just see like a cake thing where they're decorating.
Yeah, the
and everything.
pressure's just squeezing those clouds, trying to get
That's
one or
all
two.
right. I miss the clouds. I really do. No,
Oh, no, you
I
do
do
not.
not at all. But well, cool. Well, I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah,
It's almost here.
Yeah. All right. He's blind and hearing impaired, but that didn't stop Michael Cleveland from his goal of being a ranch. That's right. Flavors a lot of food. Now even ice cream. That's right. I said ice cream. The popular salad dressing was developed by a plumber who used to work here in Alaska. Steve Henson created the versatile dressing at his Hidden Valley Ranch in California. Now the brand Hidden Valley has teamed up with Van Leeuwen Ice Cream to combine creamy ranch with the creamy frozen treat. Today, by the way, is National Ranch Day. Giddy up. Soon, you won't have to go to a Disney park to get Dole Whip. The tropical soft-serve treat has been a Disney fan favorite for nearly 40 years. It was introduced in 1984 at the Magic Kingdom, and now Dole is going to be selling them a little closer to home. The dairy-free frozen treat will be available in 3 flavors, pineapple, mango, and strawberry. Look for it in your local freezer aisle. There you go. The launch of a 3D printed rocket was scrubbed earlier this week. The relatively space project would have been the first of its kind to blast off into space. The mission was called Good Luck, Have Fun. There was no payload on the 110-foot rocket, but the end goal is to ferry customers to space. Relativity says it's the largest 3D printed object to exist and attempt orbital flight. I wouldn't want to be the first one on that one. All right. People who live at Peter Parker's actual address show off the letters they've gotten for Spider-Man. And while a famous piece of art is on loan, a museum comes up with a creative use of the space. Plus, Melissa, she'll have another look at our forecast. Thanks for watching. You're watching CBS 5 at 4. Vanity plate in Maine causes controversy. Huh?
And an artist reimagined the girl with the pearl earring. Here's Jeremy Roth with today's Take a Look at This.